up, everybody? Welcome to the first episode of Boss Talk. You're here with your host.
Hey, y'all, it's Kennedi, aka Kenny from the block. What's up?
Hey, everyone. It's your girl, Oyin.
What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Sunja.
What's good, everybody? This is your girl, Moonchild.
And your girl, AJ. Thank you and shout out to y'all for tuning into our very first episode. Today, we're getting into the it before you commit. You know, the talking stage. But first, we're going to play a little Q&A game. Now, we don't want to keep y'all waiting, so let's get it. Your best friend needs to crash for the weekend, but you're not at home. However, your bae is. Would you let them? A, no. B, hell no. C, sure, why not? Or D, only if there's 24/7 video chatting involved.
This is a tough one.
You know, like,
I trust my friends and I would trust my man. So, you know, I'm going to go with sure, why not? Because I feel like, I ain't got nothing to worry about. So, like,
right.
I think I'm good there.
I think, like, for me, it's the same. I think if it's my best friend, like, I have enough trust in you to know that you're not going to do anything. And then also, like, it's not like y'all sleeping in the same bed. Like, one of y'all taking the couch, one of y'all taking the bed. Like, exactly. I don't think that would be a huge issue. It's not some random acquaintance.
I feel like it depends how long I was with my partner for. Because if it's like a fresh new relationship, I feel like for me personally, the trust isn't fully there yet. Obviously, I trust my best friend, so that's not my best friend, but more so not trusting bae. So I'm gonna have to say no.
Ooh, interesting. I actually didn't think about it like that. Like the amount of time that there is in a relationship. But I'm also a type of person to, like, I trust fully and then the trust loses versus, like, you seem like you're building trust.
Yes, I am very big on building trust.
Honestly, I feel like I'm you, Sunja.
I feel like for me, and just envisioning my best friend, Chris Brown could walk in the door and she like, it ain't gonna happen. But you know what? I just feel like, and maybe I hear my mom in my head, like, don't, just create opportunities for something to happen and leave the door open. Mm-hmm. So I think that's why it's hard for me to fully say, of course, but I know my best friend, ride me till the wheels fall off, ain't even looking at that man. So I say, sure, why not?
That's a very interesting. Okay, so I'm gonna just go ahead. What I think is, okay, it's not a hell no, but it's definitely a no. Because yes, it's definitely a no. Because it's not about it's not really about, to me, trusting the person or trusting it is about that, but overall, don't put people in situations where there's the possibility of something happening where it's a he said, she said situation.
Yeah. When
you leave it up to he said, she said, somebody always gonna end up lying. You don't know who to believe. Yes, that's your best friend, but yes, that's your man. Okay, maybe if you're building a new relationship with that guy, it might be that you trust your best friend more, but you trust both those people and one of them is lying. How do you know who to choose?
You're right.
But I feel like,
well, I'd rather just not have either of them be put in that situation. Like, it could even go as far as to say, like, she said something crazy, like she's telling you that something happened and you've been with this man for 5 years. You're like, you don't want to believe that something has happened, but you don't want to just disregard the fact that she said something happened.
Mm-hmm. Right. And I think I agree with, like, the window of opportunity that you can have, like, in a situation like this. But I'm thinking, like, if my best friend's asking me to crash for a weekend, like, I know there's no other option. Like, it's not like, oh, they're coming to crash, like, this is like a regular thing. Like, I know that this is like a once in a blue moon thing, and it's not something that's like regular. So I feel like,
you.
Yeah, I just feel like I don't know. I
It's a tough
get both
look.
sides.
I'm not putting the girl out. Like, this is my best friend. I'm gonna find a situation to find some way to help you out, whether it's me putting you up somewhere for the night or me putting you up with somebody that I know there's not going to be any he says, she says situation, maybe my parents or like an aunt or something. I will do that. But I'm not going to set my man up or set you up for some crazy situation. But that's just me.
I hear y'all. I mean, damn, I feel like I'm a little more, I wouldn't say trusting, but I feel like for me, it wasn't that hard of a decision. But now y'all are making me think, so I don't know no more.
All right, so we're going to move on to question number 2. You're going to like this one. It's about love languages. So out of the 5 love languages, which is the most important to you? And I'm just going to review them again real quick. A, words of affirmation. B, quality time. C, gift giving. D, acts of service. Or E, physical touch.
I feel like quality time is definitely the most important to me, because just having someone's undivided attention is extremely important to me. Like, you're not letting other, like, outside factors distract you away from me, if that makes sense.
I get that. I feel like quality time is super popular. I feel like that's the love language of a lot of people. I feel like that would be my close second. I think mine's, well, actually I know mine because I took the quiz once, and I'm a words of affirmation type of person.
Definitely.
Like, I just love, like, when people tell me how much they care about me or how much I mean to them and things like that, because I'm just the type of person where I like to reach out to people and like tell them good job on whatever, or like, I'm just thinking about you, how are you? Like, that's just how I show love and affection. So that's just naturally like how I would want to receive it. So I just love when people, you know, are just saying good things and stuff like that. And I think that's like very important to me. But I definitely would put quality time as a very close second. But words of affirmation is definitely my number 1.
Like you, I also took that quiz, and mine is Oyin, like yours, quality time. I just love the moments and memories that you can create with people. I think that's really big for me. That's something I don't really ever forget. And I think that just means the most to me, because I think spending time with someone is the biggest way to prove to me that you care about me, because I tell a lot of people I want to hang out with you, and girl, yeah, of course we gotta get together. It's just because what else are you gonna say? Somebody says like, oh, I haven't seen you since, middle school. I'll find you. But really, and oh my God, especially if somebody that I'm interested in says, I want to, take you out to dinner and just talk, get to know each other, or, catch up, anything. It doesn't even really matter. But yeah, I think quality time is the biggest one for me.
And I think that's
Go ahead.
Oh, I think that's why words of affirmation doesn't really do it for me, because like, even as Kyle was saying, like, you can say all these things till you turn blue in the face. Oh my God, I want to see, I want to take you out, all these things. But like, like, great, but I'm not going to believe you until you literally show me that, okay, and we're at this restaurant, we're at this park, we're at this museum, like, actually spending time together. I don't know. That's kind of why I feel like quality time for me is very...
I don't have anything against any of these other things. And I took the quiz too, but mine is definitely also quality time. But physical touch is also very high up there, which it definitely came in second place for me. And when I took the quiz, I took it as like, oh, physical touch, like they mean like intimacy.
Mm-hmm.
But now that I've been in a situation where I've been spending quality time with somebody, but they're like sitting in the chair over there and I'm sitting on the bed, and I don't like that. I want you to be like next to me. It could be my toe touching your shoulder. Like, it don't gotta be nothing crazy. We could be touching pinkies or something. I don't care. I just want to touch you.
But that's not quality time though.
You let me sleep in your bed. When I came over that one time, you was like, stay on your side.
Yo, that's
I did.
Your legs move a little bit too far to the left.
Alyssa want her space to herself. AJ want her space to herself.
But to your point, like that's not really quality time though. If we're thinking about like we're in the same physical space and you're sitting over there on your phone and I'm sitting over here on my.
It is. I didn't say on your phone though.
No,
I just said. Like it's quite like we could be sitting down watching a movie, but I want to be cuddled watching the movie.
Oh, got you.
I don't want to be like on. I don't want to be on two ends of the couch. Like, you know, it is. We are spending quality time together, but I also like the physical touch aspect of quality time.
Yeah, no, that's definitely for me too. Mine are tied. Every quiz that I've taken, they've been like at the top.
Right.
Physical touch and quality time, because like. That's like one of the reasons why I always say I can't be in a long distance relationship, because like I need to be able to spend time with you. And that if that means like I see you once a week, that is okay with me as long as I see you. But like
it doesn't count to me if I don't see you.
No, like this is not a relationship. I'm talking to somebody who's I'm entertaining someone. That's the word. I'm entertaining.
Facts. Nah, you're right. That's exactly what it is.
I'm not talking to you. I'm entertaining you over there. But like I know there's nothing that's gonna come out of it because I can't see you.
Right. I feel you.
100% agree with you.
It's funny that you like mentioned long distance relationships though, just because I feel like for the most part, every person I've really talked to, it's ended up being a long distance relationship, just because before when I was at school, like, and everyone's so far away. So all I have is like FaceTime or just like talking to somebody. So it just melts my heart when people just send me like long paragraphs of like how much I mean to them or how much they value me. And it sucks because I know you should always, you know, go off of actions and not words. And I feel like that's why I'm a sucker against it.
No, I think
I'm like, oh my God, like he said that he cares about me, even if like, you know, it doesn't match up or whatever. But I don't know, that's just how I am.
And that's no problem. You know, it is what it is. You are how you are. But question number 3. You and your partner have been together for 5 years. You say you want to get married, but your partner says they don't believe in marriage, just a lifelong partnership.
Girl.
Do you A, hit the high road, B, stay in the lifelong partnership, or C, convince them to get married?
You should have been had this conversation.
That's what I'm saying.
Facts.
You are 5 years in.
That's what I'm saying.
From like you're 5 years in and you don't know if you want to like.
That's crazy, right?
What's a lifelong partnership? I need a title. I'm a wife. I'm your wife.
Exactly.
I mean, in some states, if you're like with the person for 10 years, like you're legally married.
Like if 10 years.
Yeah, 10 years. If you're in the
that's like 10 years for a relationship.
Oh my God.
But ain't nobody moving to Wyoming.
Facts.
All right. Well, I just want to
say to Wyoming though.
First off,
facts.
I'm gonna just automatically for me eliminate A, because yes, you should have had that conversation in the beginning. But if we 5 years in, I've spent too much time like to just automatically be like hit the road. Personally, I'm invested.
I'm not with that.
Like I wasted my time. Like,
you gonna waste your time.
Exactly, facts. Like, you gonna waste the lifelong partnership? You gonna waste your whole life now because you wasted 5 years?
Yo.
You're gonna be 95. She's gonna be 95. Like,
can I speak my
I think we could still get married. Trying to convince him.
Can I please speak my piece? Can I please speak? Let me speak my piece.
Speaking in Spanish, German, Italian, don't matter. Ain't gonna make no sense.
Right.
I just feel like I've already invested 5 years of my life, so I wouldn't be so quick to hit the road. But staying in a lifelong partnership is not something that's going to make me happy. But then again, this is just a loaded question, because convincing someone is like, you don't want to convince them. You want them to know that they want to marry you. So this is a hard question for me to ask. Like, honestly, I don't really agree with the 3 options. I feel like
that's not a choice.
You have to. Even if you don't agree to an option, if you read into the question, your partner's mind is already made up. Your partner knows that at the end of the day, I'm not getting married. So the only way you would do it is to convince them, and that convincing them is not them.
There's a bunch of scenarios.
What are you talking about?
Convincing them is not them actually wanting to do it. So like the only way, if marriage is truly your thing, like you want to get married. Like I don't want to get married. I know one day I'm gonna have this ring on my finger.
Me too, right here, listening in the sun.
But I'm talking about like if I'm starting to date you, by year one, by the end of year one, I should already know like how you feel about marriage.
I feel you.
I
feel you. But I was just going off of the scenario it was given. Now this is no means will represent my life. I'm just saying. This is not my future. I'm just going off of the scenario that was given.
It's for you to think about though. Like if you say that all 3 options like are not like it's too packed, it's really not. This nigga is already telling you, I feel this way.
You're right.
What are you gonna do?
I am hitting that high road. It's been a lovely 5 years, but
maybe not. So we ain't about to find out what's gonna happen in year 6.
Exactly.
Yo, you're stupid.
Also, you're wasting my damn time. Moving on.
Facts. That is a big waste of time. Okay. So off the topics of mentally stimulate me, I want to ask y'all some questions about the actual talking stage. So what do you think the talking stage is? And do you think being exclusive is considered talking or dating at that point?
First off, I want to know when the talking stage began. Like,
is there,
like what is?
No, for
like
me, when I read the question, like when I read the question, what is the talking stage? The number one thing that keeps coming back to my mind is there even a talking stage? I can't like, the reason why I say that is because I can't fathom like that I am like, what's the difference between like we're talking as friends versus like now we know that it's like more flirty and now it's talking.
Okay, I feel like, let's say you meet somebody. So boom, you meet them, talk sporadically, just trying to gauge to see if this may be something, like you catch a vibe. So then I feel like that just, you start to talk a little bit more and like gauge the person. Let's say you figure out that there's a vibe between y'all and y'all get to a point where you're like, I really like this person. I want to learn even more about them and who they are, interests and all that type of stuff. I feel like the talking stage is you really getting to know that person and see if you can really like be with this person long term. You're just like figuring out who y'all are like together. I feel like that's pretty much what it is, to be honest.
You know what, Sunja? I don't think the talking stage is real. I think I use that phrase because everybody else does, and if somebody asks me, "Oh, like what's going on?" I just gotta start lying, to be honest, and just say, but to your point, or to answer maybe part of what you had brought up, I don't think it's a stage really because one, there's no like security in that.
Boom.
I mean, you can still do whatever, they can still do whatever, and I think you're just meeting the person. You're finding things out. Okay, we're finding things out about each other. But I think the talking stage was created that people could say that we have feelings for each other, so this is something because we're talking.
Okay, I agree.
Girls that hang on to that talking phase, like, oh, we talking, so this means something. Oh, they don't like something. He's still doing what he want to do.
Yeah, facts.
Right. And so Kennedi said something about like, you're vibing with someone, right? Like you're trying to vibe with someone.
Carlton, like
I'm over here. The reason why I'm like shifty about that is because like technically I could vibe with 10 niggas in my phone.
Absolutely.
Right?
No, I'm not jacking that. I'm not jacking that. Yo, it is hard to catch a vibe out here. Honestly, you don't catch it. People be up on my phone. I don't necessarily catch a vibe with every single one of them. I'll have maybe two where I'm like,
catching a
vibe, we really connecting. Like that's not everybody. I'm not catching a genuine vibe with 10 different niggas. That's just not it.
Maybe not 10, but you could catch a vibe with a good 3.
You said a good 3.
I would say 2.
If you say something catching a vibe is really like, I like your personality. You can like multiple people's personalities and like really like, start talking to multiple people. You can.
See,
I'm telling you, people put a lot of emphasis on that talking phase stage for whatever.
You're right, they do.
So can I just say, like, I feel like the whole idea of a talking stage like came about when people started using talking as a synonym for dating. Like it used to be like, oh, we're going on dates, like, but then it became like, oh, we talk, because people wanted to create that stage before y'all actually start dating. Like, to me, the talking stage is, it's a period where you meet somebody you like. It doesn't mean that you're exclusive with that person, but you're talking to that person and you're doing whatever, you're getting to know that person. Should you become exclusive with that person, then you start dating. To me, dating is boyfriend and girlfriend. That's what dating is.
So exclusivity means dating. So exclusivity means dating.
I'm saying you should take that to the next step. You should start in the talking stage when you're still doing whatever with whoever, Jimmy, Tommy, and Tammy. And then when you become whoever you want, then boyfriend and girlfriend is when, if you choose to become exclusive before that period and y'all did not have a conversation about that, that's on you, because nobody told you to do that.
So
but if you make a decision to become exclusive together and not have a title, then okay.
Yeah, I feel like it's different for everybody. Like, it just depends on the couple. That's what I'm saying.
In my opinion, that's what it is for me. I'm not gonna say like you're in the talking stage because I say you are.
I'm just thinking more about like, okay, now that got me thinking about more stuff about, okay, so if you're saying that if you're dating, whatever, you're exclusive, right? Like your boyfriend and girlfriend, right? So like, I'm just kind of confused on like the exclusive, like where does like exclusivity come in? Like, is there like a talking and then it's like a situationship and then like where does the situationship fall into that?
A situationship
is exclusive.
Yeah.
A situationship is exclusive. But
situationship is a mess. That's what it is.
It's a mess. Is it exclusive?
Let's
can be.
Let's talk about it.
I feel like a situationship can be exclusive.
Because
it can be, but it doesn't mean that it is.
Bad relationship. That is not, no.
No, but if we're really defining these stages, and we're gonna be clear on it, like we're talking about, okay, the talking stage is this period where like you're figuring things out, right? It's like how old back in the day people would say like, oh, I'm going on a bunch of dates, like Alyssa was saying. Like I'm going on a bunch of dates, like, you know, I'm feeling this person out, or I'm feeling this person out, or I'm only dating the same person just to like feel him out, right? But then we get into the next, like, so when we decide after our dates or whatever that like we want to only fuck with one another, like we only want to talk to one another, that is exclusive. But is it automatically I'm your boyfriend, girlfriend? It's not, right?
Well then, okay.
So what happens what's that period in between called?
For me, I feel like that is still dating, because I feel like you guys kind of, I mean, yes, you agreed that, okay, we are exclusively talking to one another and that's it. But like, for me, I would personally like to be like, okay, if for us to move to the next stage of relationship, we have to have another conversation saying, okay, we are exclusively boyfriend, girlfriend. Like, I am your boyfriend, you are my girlfriend, and that is that. So like, I feel like that's kind of where loyalty and all that stuff kind of starts coming into play, because like, yes, you guys did say that, okay, we are exclusively talking to one another, but like, because for me personally, there is no title. I don't want to say that there's no loyalty, because obviously there's still loyalty, but like,
that's the thing, because that's when it gets really confusing. That's when it gets really confusing and really messy, because then you can go like, well, you were never my boyfriend, so what's really exclusive?
And that's the problem. People be using that. They'll be like, but you're not my girlfriend, so, but you're not my boyfriend, so.
This is the issue. This is the issue of why like these stages are like so not concrete, because it's like it's
about communication.
Right, I agree.
Y'all gotta communicate that.
If you're in the talking stage, like I said, you just getting to know each other. I'm vibing with you, you vibing with me. Okay, cool. So we're vibing. Now, okay, we both like each other. Great. Now you say, listen, I'm feeling you a lot. I'm really thinking that, I'm not really looking at anybody else right now. So we put up this like precursor, whatever you want to call it. Boom, we're exclusive, both of us. Cool. But that doesn't mean that I'm cuffing you or whatever. You still have more conversations. You're getting to know each other maybe on a deeper level, and you say, nah, you know what? It's clear for everybody else. I'm ready to make you my boyfriend, my girlfriend, whatever, and that's it. And then you just continue to build up until that point. And then you can say, okay, I want to marry you, or nah, it's not gonna happen. But I think you have to, that exclusivity is not just given in the talking stage. It don't just work like that. And dating at the same time, you can date multiple people. You saw that in that Insecure episode.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So you gotta talk about it.
So recently there's been a tweet floating around about this girl's longest talking stage being 3 years and her shortest being 2 weeks. With that being said, how long do you think the talking stage should normally last?
Definitely not
And
3 years.
3 years.
Definitely not 3 years.
I feel like this is kind of where the water gets muggy for me personally, because like obviously the talking stage, whatever it is, it exists, it doesn't exist, whatever. But like, I feel like I don't want to put a time limit on it, but like 3 years is excessive as shit. So I feel like maybe like I feel like at most like a few months, and that's cap. Like, I don't think it should last longer than that for us to figure out if we should date.
Exactly. It depends. I think it depends on the couple. I feel like it depends on the person. It can go however long. Like I remember when in my young bull days, I was talking to somebody. Like, cause like I wasn't really driving or nothing. I was talking to somebody dead for like 6-7 months before like we started dating. Now that's wild. It's real wild. But
I mean it depends on you.
It depends.
I don't think it's wild. I think this is exactly where to our last point, this is exactly where communication comes in. If we're both on the same page at every stage of this talking stage, I don't think we can really put a cap on it. 3 years for me is excessive because I not doing that shit. I don't want to be in a place where we're 3 years down the line and we haven't made any plans. Like that's what it sounds like to me, that like we've been in this, whatever situation and we haven't really made any plans to move forward with our lives after 3 years of talking. Like what it's like we're
honestly
like we've grown.
Off of that, if a dude is taking 3 years talking to you, he's bullshitting. Because I'm a firm believer that every dude, if they want a girl, they will waste no time.
100%.
Like dudes to me have said, yo, I'm not playing about you. And I'd be like, oh.
I don't know.
Okay, then.
Hold on a second. Because I do agree. Agree. But I know for a fact, because some people are crazy now, and they might think that, I want to be with you after 2 weeks or 1 month, and they start saying all this stuff, and you never know what to do. I'm just saying.
Wow.
Think about this. How many, you see it more so with women that say, I'm in love with him. He's going to be my husband and my baby daddy.
After 2 days.
After 2 weeks. Because of certain situations and things that can partake and happen or whatever. But I believe that's way too early. I know some people say they're in love and they just know, but I think that's too early.
I mean, that's why you got shows like 90 Day Fiance now.
No, listen, no. But I'm saying, and I love Beyonce, as all y'all know, but I remember her on Oprah did an interview and she said her and Jay-Z were on the phone for a year to a year and a half, just as friends, building that relationship and connection. I don't think she said they went on any dates, and they were just finding out like, we're solid friends. They built that friendship, and I think that's super important too.
I agree.
And she still got cheated on.
Listen, she still did get cheated on.
I'm sorry, it's not funny. That's not
her fault necessarily.
No, you're right.
But that could happen at any time, and that's way years and years down the line.
Yeah, and I think to your point, like what that made me start thinking about is like maturity and like level of like when is this talking stage happening? So like if we're in high school, college, whatever, do you, boo-boo. Like, you know, some things like when we're young, like things get like misconstrued. But I think like as we get older, it takes, for me at least, my talking stage gets longer as I get older.
That's interesting.
Yeah, because I like, it's just more about taking time and like culminating ideas about like how much I really enjoy you, like as a person. And I think like taking time to really find out, like to Kai's point, you need a longer period of time, especially as we're getting older. We're thinking more about marriage and we're thinking more about our future. We need a longer period of time to explore like what this person's like.
And I feel like that
get into a relationship.
And I feel like that's kind of where the whole talking stage dating gets very muggy. Like, I feel like we don't have to be in a talking stage for us to like really deepen our connection, for us to, I don't know, really get to know each other, to make sure that we are the right fit for each other. I feel like that doesn't all have to happen on talking stage. I feel like that's more like dating and like kind of pushing like the boundaries for a relationship.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. Like, you definitely, as much as like you're in a relationship with someone, or like, you know, adults will tell you all the time, or parents that have been married for a long time will tell you, I learned something new about her every day. I learned something new about him every single day. Because like as you're growing, as you're developing new parts of yourself, you're learning more about yourself and your partner. So I think like this is a continuum. Like, it's not something that just stops after the talking stage, but it's something that definitely you need to like at least throw out the red flags. Like, okay, this is what I've seen right now, and that's definitely not something I want for my future. Versus like when I was in college, like, you know, a guy would talk to me and I'd be like, okay, I find you cute, like, let's go.
I'm crying.
Nah, facts. There was a little time to a time period. Some just be like, yo, this one, that one, this one want me. I'd be like, yo, girl, what's up? Like, we ready to write the book? I'm typing it up for you. What's up? Yo, it was like boom, 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 boom.
Right after the time
Must be
period,
nice.
I remember right after Bobby, I'm sitting there like, right?
No,
there.
for real. I do remember that.
Like, let's go.
We all had our moments. We all had our moments.
Yo, for real.
Yo, that's a cute. Where you at?
For real.
Yo, I remember the specific party. I think Kennedi, I don't remember who took like the video, but I think the two guys came back to like,
yo, that was me. I have the video.
Yeah.
Yo, I was
Yo, Sunja was lit. She was so lit.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, versus like in college, like, especially after you go through shit, or like in college after, like, just because it is college or high school, like, it's so much you get into shit much faster.
Yeah.
Because you don't really care. Like, I'm not really thinking about, like, what's tomorrow gonna look like. I'm talking about how much fun are we going to have tonight.
I'm weak.
Facts.
That I'm here for a good time, not a long time.
You know.
Why do y'all think the talking stage normally lasts so long? Do you think it's because of a lack of communication, or people just getting too comfortable?
Both of them.
Both.
I think if you're, especially since, I don't know, I'm not going to try to generalize too much, but I'm not really one for making first moves, and I always feel like if he's more interested, or if he wants to solidify something, then it'll happen. Because I can't convince no dude to do anything, or convince him to love me, like me, whatever, if he's trying to do his own thing. So I think a lot of times for dudes, if they're not trying to put any titles on anything, they'll drag stuff out because they're getting the best of both worlds. They're getting treated like they're a boyfriend, and they can still have their cake and eat it too. So if you don't, talk about where you see this talking stage, even though I don't believe it's real, going, then yeah, I think you can set yourself up to be in a talking stage for a lot longer than you anticipated.
That is a valid point.
Yeah, I think to your point too. I think like the biggest thing that I think about when I think about like is it lack of communication or getting too comfortable? To your point, I don't want to really generalize, but I think with most situations that I've seen, at least with my friends or like with myself, I'm very blunt and like alpha in your face. Like if I'm like dating someone, and I usually take the first step. Like, so I think when it's a girl when it's like the woman, I guess like in my situation, when it's the woman, I think it's a lack of communication, versus when it's the guy, I think it's the getting comfortable. And I think guys get more, like, to your point, if they're getting all the treatments that they would get in a relationship, like, what's the point of trying any harder? Like,
yeah, that's a fact.
Why would I do anything more if you're already giving me everything? Versus like a girl, I think like it's harder for us. Like, we know what I think. For me, I'm gonna stop generalizing. For me, I feel like I know what I want, and the only reason why sometimes I don't get what I want is because I don't talk about it. So it's like, it's the communication piece that's stopping us from moving and out.
Yeah.
I agree. I feel like communication definitely is important. I know for me in the past, not gonna lie, I've been like low-key kind of scared to speak up, just because if it's in a point where like things are kind of going good, but you may feel a way, and I just be like, I don't really want to, like, you know, rock the boat, but like it's necessary. Like, I know I talk to y'all and I'll be like, y'all, like, I really feel this way, but he's acting this, baby, and they'll be like,
what do I say?
Tell him. Alyssa be like,
do that.
Stop being alone. Stop being alone.
Exactly.
And I'm like,
I'd be like, tell him first, and then come tell me that you told him.
Yeah, it's just something like that. Just I'm continue to work on. But yes, communication is. I agree with everything you said, Sunja. So
yes, everyone has said is 100% true. And to go on Kennedy's point, I feel like, not to generalize, but I feel like a lot of women get stuck in that situation. Like, yes, I'm really happy about where everything is at right now. Like, I want to move forward. But again, as Kennedy said, like, there's fear there of rocking the boat. Like, but like, if you don't rock the boat, like, how, I don't know, like obviously things are gonna come up. So like, you can't move forward if like, okay, you have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Like, yes, you don't want to rock the boat, but like, you can't move forward in a relationship if you don't. So yeah.
Yes.
Honestly, I am a rock the boat, flip the whole boat over type of person.
I'm fucking crying.
Like, I've just learned, like, people say things that they don't mean. Certain people, I should say things that they don't mean, and I cannot rock with that at all. Like, if you say you're gonna do something and you don't do it, I'm immediately like, so I might not say it to you, but in my head I'm gonna be like, okay, well, this person said they was gonna do this and they didn't do it, so that's a little check mark in my book. So when you get those next 2 strikes, don't be confused what I did, because I'm out of here.
What I did.
I don't, because honestly, I'm never the type of person who's not going to address something that's bothering me. If you did something and it bothered me, I'm not going to sit there and be mad and pretend like nothing's wrong. I'm going to be like, so what happened with such and such and this, that, and the third? You answer how you answer. If you lie, that's up to you. You tell me the truth, then maybe we can work on it. But I'm going to rock the boat. I'm going to flip it over. I'll set the boat on fire if I need to.
Oh my God. I'm crying.
Like, that whole double texting thing, that whole, like, I will double text you, triple text you, and I'm not crazy. I'm not saying I'm crazy, but I'm saying, like, if I am to the point where I feel comfortable enough to be even talking to you, dating you, whatever, I'm not gonna hold back if something is bothering me. If I texted you at 8:00 in the morning and it's 9 and you haven't answered, I will double text you, triple
text you.
That's
the thing. I'm too much of a people pleaser, honestly, because I'll be talking to y'all. I'll be like, yeah, he did that. And you know what?
She be like, brat, 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 brat.
I'm gonna tell
and then it really be like,
I'd be like, you know what? I'd be like, you know what, girl? I'm gonna say this to him. I get on the phone.
Facts.
Like, it's okay.
Yo, I'd be so tight because Kennedy will text me. She'd be like, yo, such and such said this. And I'd be like, so does that mean that you didn't have a conversation with him about what we spoke about earlier? And she's like, well, you see what happened? Well, I didn't want to bring it up because he was already in the mood about something. And I'm like, girl.
I need to do better. Good thing I have y'all as friends, because I need to do better.
Kennedy, I definitely like been there, like where it was always about putting that person first and like always thinking about, you know, how they're gonna feel if I bring up this conversation again. Nah, like now I'm at the point, like,
bring it up.
I'm like, Nah, nigga. Like, you're not about to waste my time.
Facts.
Like, we're not about to talk about the same thing 30 times. We're not about to re-bring up why you could not text me today. We're not bringing it back up.
Myself. I hate repeating myself.
Like, you just gotta be ready.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
With that being said, do you think that you can cheat on someone that you're talking to, either physically or emotionally?
No.
No.
That's why you need a title.
Basically, everyone's saying, like, no, you can't cheat. Like, obviously, you can't cheat on somebody that, like, you don't have a title with. But, like, are you allowed to feel some type of way if the person leaves you for cheating? For, like, sleeping with someone else?
You can feel some type of way.
Yeah,
No.
These are my feelings, and I can feel how I feel.
Yes.
No, you can't.
What? You can't tell me how to feel.
If that person
just
felt
told us you
comfortable,
can't cheat.
Whoa, no.
Exactly,
You
one.
can still get your feelings hurt, even if you're not getting. How do I look going to somebody and saying, "Oh my god"?
No, but I know, I understand.
I
Obviously,
know you was in a relationship. Oh
no,
god.
but I get that. I get what you're saying, but then you cannot, like, I get of course you're gonna have some type of emotion towards it, like, you're not a fucking robot. But, like, at the end of the day, if you're saying, if I'm in this talking stage with this person, there is no way I can cheat on you or you can cheat on me because, we're just talking, there's no title. But at the end of the day, if they do some dirty shit like that, you gonna get hella tight, and then it's an argument. So
I just feel
cannot say that they can't cheat.
But that doesn't mean that you're getting cheated on because you feel bad. That just means sometimes, like I said, people can invest more emotions into something that's not really there, and they can get hurt because they feel like they were done wrong, when in actuality, they didn't read the situation correctly. And I'm not saying that's the case, but I'm saying that's just an example that I could use. But yeah, you can absolutely feel some type of way, but like, you can even date multiple people. I think really you can only, until you say, like, we're exclusive, and even still then, I guess it's not really cheating, but you've got to put that down. And I think that's why it's sometimes so hard to get out of that talking phase, because you got people out here just doing and being whoever, because technically there is no reason why they can't go out and do them, because that's not boyfriend, girlfriend, even though, like I said, I don't think talk stage is real. You're just somebody. But until you really said, I'm in this with you, I'm putting a ring on this, you can't get cheated on.
I see what you're saying. I feel like, me personally, like, I've definitely talked to someone before, and let's say I was talking to somebody in New York or whatever, and I went home and I was thinking about seeing somebody, but then I feel like I wouldn't end up doing something because I would feel bad.
So I'm very confused by what you just said.
I am as well.
I don't understand.
I'm saying, like, the part of, like, cheating on somebody, like, that you're talking to. So it's like, I feel like I've been in a position where I've kind of thought about it, but, like, it's not technically cheating because we're not dating. But me, I would just feel bad regardless if I just want to do that, because I feel like that's just, like, I don't know.
That's wrong.
I just
you feel like.
I just feel like it's
the real
wrong.
difference?
Like, morally, my moral compass is just not.
So I think it's like I guess what I'm not understanding is, like, what's the real difference then between, like, because the feelings are the same, right? You're still gonna feel the same exact way if you were in a relationship and they cheated, right? You can still feel that way.
Yeah,
Like,
you can still feel that way, yeah.
You can still feel that way. So, like, what's the, like, I just don't understand. If we're saying that we can't cheat, but we can feel this way, but, like, I don't understand the difference between, like, cheating, like, I don't get it. Like, are you saying that, like, you can only cheat because of a title?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
basically. That's the point.
That's why I'm saying the talking stage don't mean nothing necessarily, even though, like I said, again, I don't think it's real. But
yeah, I agree. I don't think it's real.
I don't think it's real. So if I'm just getting to know somebody, they can't cheat on me. We just we vibing. You can't cheat on no vibe.
The vibe.
Are you cheating on my vibe? No.
Yo, stop it. Stop it.
Elaborate on that, and it's gonna be probably the last thing I say about it.
Very true, though. That's very true.
If you are once you, I guess, realize, once you're talking to somebody and you say, you know what, this might be something that I'm looking to get into, you're gonna probably change the way you act towards that person. So you're maybe not trying to look to do other things. And if you communicate and you say, maybe, I don't know if that's something you would always say right away in this phase, but hey, I'm trying to maybe date, find somebody, whatever, or whenever you get to that point and they say, nah, I'm really trying to, have fun. Then hey,
have fun.
Maybe this is not the one that I should be trying to fall in love with. So you don't get your feelings hurt or whatever the case might be. But yeah, that's my piece.
This is a lot.
It's not a lot. The reason why
relationships and
people
are a lot.
Like it's something.
Right.
Do you think
that's the real issue? The real issue is thinking that the talking stage is really like a
that's a fact.
It's
like,
not
a real issue. To think that like any type of person that you start to vibe with is going to be like, it's like we're working towards something, like, or it's like we're in the talking stage. Like, it's not real.
I just feel like things are just naturally just becoming more complicated than they should be with the talking stage, and I don't got time to be stressed or pressed, and I'm just.
That's where the communication comes in.
Yes, I was gonna say that.
Like,
that's really it.
Okay,
that's what it boils down to.
We've been talking, like, okay, for example, I'm talking to this guy. We knew each other for a long time, and then we started talking, right? Talking stage. We started talking more serious, like flirting, right? And then he finally invited me out, like one-on-one, and then we've continued to talk, right? We've continued to do whatever we're doing. Like, we see each other maybe once, twice a week. We go on dates. We
Quarantine.
We do all the quarantine. All the grown folks activities. We do those. Yeah.
The grown folk activity.
So because our communication line is very open, it doesn't feel like at the end of every 2 weeks, at the end of every month, we have to be like, hey, so what are we? Like, are we moving towards this piece? But it's more like, to Kai's point earlier, is like just getting to know one another. Like, this is the point where like you're starting to feel each other out and like figuring out what you want. I don't think it's necessarily a talking stage. I don't think it's a dating stage. We're not in a relationship. Very true. I think it's just we're getting to know each other. Like, I don't think that's like I don't think it's a prequel. Like, the talking stage is not a prequel to a relationship. That's how I feel.
That's fair.
All right. I feel like one of my biggest takeaways is definitely know what you want out of like what you're like, whatever situation you're trying to get yourself into. Like, I feel like a lot of people, especially like nowadays, like we just kind of start talking stage, like to anyone, because I'm bored, like I want someone's attention, all the other stuff, and then I feel like that's also so I feel like, and that's how things kind of get cloudy, and that's how like the talking stage is like, oh, like what are we like, what are we doing, blah blah blah. So I feel like knowing what you want, okay, I am talking to you because I want to, or I see myself having a future, whatever, we can actually start dating, we can actually be a relationship and whatever. So like, and knowing what you want is extremely important.
I agree.
100% agree with that.
Agreed. Yeah.
It's just important to read actions and not words. I know I said it like really early, but it's so easy to just say something. It doesn't take any effort, it doesn't take any time, it doesn't take maybe even much thought. But can't fall in love with what you hear, because if the actions are saying something completely different, those are probably saying what that person truly feels, because that's where all the effort comes in.
And drops mic. Boom.
Okay, gems. Straight gems. Drop the mic.
What was the saying? It's like, let people do what they want to do and it'll show them what they rather do.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Good memory.
Sometimes I hear that stuff and I'm like, was that in Corinthians?
It was definitely in the Bible somewhere. It was definitely in the Bible somewhere. Somebody said it. James, Matthew, someone.
I didn't say no James.
I'm done with you.
I would have to say my biggest takeaway is communication, baby.
Baby don't trade.
We talk.
R.I.P. the pop, for real.
Yeah,
facts.
for real, R.I.P. But obviously we've talked about it a lot through this whole conversation. Communication is super important, and you definitely need to be on the same page with whoever your partner is throughout the whole process. And don't be scared to communicate. You know, I've definitely gone through that in the past, and I'm learning to be more vocal with who I talk to and things like that. So just never be afraid, and like going off of what Oyin said, just voicing what you want when you know what you want, and just moving forward in that way.
I think, like, I guess one thing that I took away from this conversation was like thinking about not getting comfortable with complacency. I think it's so easy for us to kind of like, when we're comfortable, or when we're in a situation, we tend to get a little bit more relaxed once we feel comfortable, and we stop going on dates, or we stop talking as much, or we stop, we just get a little bit more distant. Just stop taking your relationship for granted. Think about every little aspect of your situation, and to the other points, just like really talk through it and process it, and be able to keep it new and fresh. Yeah.
Very true.
That's true. I think we can all agree with that. Okay, everybody, that's the end of the episode. Thank y'all again for tuning in. We'll be back soon with episode 2 of Boss Talk.
Bye.
Bye, y'all.
Be blessed.